Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to Leaders Speak Facebook Live series of Tata Power. We have with us Mr. Hemal Tiwari, CHRO of Tata Power. Welcome to this series, sir. We would like to start by asking you, human resources are the front lines of employees' response to the COVID-19 crisis. How did you develop, adapt, or improve remote work policies and procedures?
I think it's the heart of the response to what we are currently going, and these are very unprecedented times. And in a lot of measure, we are planning, but we are also improvising at the same time because the situation remains relatively dynamic, and we have to be quite flexible as the function of HR. Now, as regards various policies and changes that we have made, one thing is the heart of it is the safety and health of our employees. That is the fundamental principle by which we are deploying all of our practices and processes. Now, first thing first is that we have to define our work processes and look at what is essential and what is non-essential and what can be done with remote working. So we have created very detailed plans to categorize our employees across different clusters, what we are calling as 3 clusters of work from site, work from both, and work from home. A work from site, as you can imagine, we are a utility company and we have to continuously produce and distribute power and maintain our network. So there are a set of employees that have to come every day, and we ensure, while ensuring their protection, their health and norms of social distancing, they come every day. And then there is a set of employees who come on a rotation basis on alternate days, and then there is a set of employees who work from home and with very limited presence in office. So this is the way we are drafting from a policy point of view, and an elaborate framework of processes and implementation guidelines are also in place.
So, how are you keeping employees engaged, enthused, and productive amidst this crisis?
No, it's a very critical part of our response as well, and we are realizing that while the initial weeks when the announcement of the lockdown happened, we are sensing new issues that are coming in, and specifically we are looking at how employees are engaged, and clearly there is an anxiety amongst everybody of what they are hearing outside and what is happening outside. So there are a couple of things. One is there is a regular communication that we have with our employees, and this is a clear stream that we have, and HR and also internal communication are working very closely to say that, look, we are engaging our employees periodically on various different issues and also addressing their concerns and anxiety. As you would be aware, we did have some cases of our employees testing COVID positive. What we did was, in the spirit of transparency, we kept the communication open. We addressed the issues straight away. We didn't sugarcoat those news, and we trusted the maturity of our employees to handle that communication of saying that, look, yes, we have a risk, but how do we protect from the risk? But also we kept the updates alive, and also to tell our employees that yes, there is that risk, and also a lot of them fortunately have recovered, and that progress also is very reassuring. So in a nutshell, the transparency of our communication, the constant dialogue that we are having through all our remote means is important. The other thing that is we are sensing that when people are working from home on a prolonged period of time, how do we engage on other elements, not only work? So there are other initiatives that are being rolled out, including interest groups. There is also engagement levels of saying that, look, is there any hobby that you might have lost in your all these years of working life? Can we rekindle that? Can we create interest groups? Can we have that dialogue coming in? We also run meditation and fitness level series for our employees, so that not only work, but there is let's say what is we calling as a holistic health and wellness program around our employees, and that too from a remote fashion. We also know that there is a need for a social connect. Organizations do provide that in large measures, and when people are working from home, how do we create that gap? And we are trying to create that through a lot of initiatives across communication and connecting with employees one to one. As HR, we are doing what is called as N is equal to 1 connect. So business HR is connecting with all employees and asking them of how are things going on, just a simple call saying how things with you, is everything okay, how can we help. Now even that small measure of connecting with every employee is generating a lot of first people are reassured that there is somebody that they can talk to, but secondly also there is that human one-to-one connect that we are trying to establish, which is enabling us in our engagement with our employees.
So it is said that the crisis is compelling organizations to relook at HR processes through a digital lens. What are your views on the same?
Digital is very critical, and we were already in that journey, not only us but a lot of other companies also, but we were in this journey already. It is just that it has accelerated its adoption. So what we now know is that existing digital tools that were available, we are now using them more and more, and it is very reassuring that our company has adopted to this new way like fish to water. So if you see today, all of our processes and systems are conducted through a lot of these tools like MS Teams, etc., and people are getting very, very comfortable using these tools. Also, it is a test of time of our processes, and we have now sensed that a lot of processes are being done when we are not working from office, and if there are others that we can automate, adopt and make it more efficient. I think that journey is going on. The other thing that is very keenly followed by all of us is that we are creating very efficient work processes. When we're going digital, that is creating a new level of efficiency for all of us. So in some measure, this crisis is opening up a new opportunity for us to reflect that, look, how can we make ourselves more digital, more effective and more efficient.
So what are some of the leadership lessons that have guided you in the current times of crisis?
Yeah, so we all look, a lot of us didn't plan this, and suddenly this we went about it. The government also was very proactive in doing this lockdown. But as a utility company, we also have a responsibility towards our society and our customers. And a big responsibility is to make our plants operate, to supply power, and the supply of power is helping our country and our society at large fighting this pandemic. And the hospitals need power, all our employees who are working remotely require power to enable their Wi-Fi's and their equipment. So there is a very key part of our mission is to support the country and society at large. And that communication has to be created and delivered right across all employees. And I'm very happy to share that the sense of spirit and ownership that we have seen our employees demonstrate is very heartening. In spite of all tough conditions and lockdowns, we had a number of our employees coming out of their homes, coming to our operating units, managing our network plants, looking at some critical maintenance activities, still addressing to our customer complaints. It is a spirit that we have demonstrated, which also is going beyond not only what we are doing as a business, but also creating a sense of ownership. Now that is something that I learned, is that when you empower employees, you get extraordinary results. And this empowerment by our frontline employees and technicians and engineers have been very heartening. And this is a lesson that I am taking, is a big leadership lesson, saying that, look, once you employ, when you empower employees, when you give them a sense of purpose, and of course enable them with right tools, techniques and safety mechanisms around health and other guidelines, you see how employees respond. So that is one big lesson. The other lesson is about how do we manage our crisis. A crisis, when we went into it, we created a leadership committee which met periodically. So it was at the height of when we were trying to decipher how to respond to it. We were doing daily calls with all the leadership there, and we were taking decisions on it. So the decision making was quite effective. It was almost, we created a war room like situation, but that created a sense of ownership across the leadership team. The issues were brought up on a periodic level, were resolved and implemented straight away. So that kind of response mechanism, which is saying that look, let's create a huddle of leadership to solve these warlike situations and do periodic communication, was another big lesson that I'm taking away from this crisis.
How are you considering the psychological impact of the crisis on the employees?
Look, it's at one level, it's a tough times that we are all going through, and there is anxiety at multiple levels. Employees are feeling anxiety about what news that they are hearing about the number of infections. They are also hearing about the world over how things are going about with respect to sustainability of businesses, and also anxiety around jobs. So we have to be cognizant around it, and there is so much that we have to do. Also, as I talked about in early part of this conversation, is organizations are in a lot of measure are social structures. They give social connects to employees. There is a sense of belongingness, and what we call in the psychological theory, there is a theory of attachment. So as you get attached to your parents, in the very classical psychological theories, they say that there is a theory of attachment. You get attached to objects. Organizations are very similar. Now, once you take away this physicality of coming to office every day, there is going to be some psychological responses that the employees will face, and we have to be cognizant about it. Now, how are we looking at it? One is that we'll have to be educating our employees about the reality of the situation. So how can you take care of your health? How can you take care of avoiding the infection at multiple levels? What is personal discipline and our responsibility towards our society and our community as a whole? What does that mean to us? That is at one level. The second is that what is the criticality of the work that we are doing? It is a sense of purpose that we have to create. So today, as a utility company, we are not a normal usual business. We are a very critical part of the response to this pandemic, and we have to create that sense around our employees. Then also we have to create a sense of recognition that people are operating from home largely, and when they are operating from home, they also have personal needs, and they need some personal space to address that needs. Now, how we can recognize it and still have our employees be productive at work and also manage what they are currently doing at work at their homes. Also, at these times, we also need to say that look, hey, there is some other side to life as well. So all is not only work, and all is not all formal and serious. We are also trying to have our employees unwind at times. So we are looking at their mental health issues like meditation, like encouraging them to do fitness at home. Look, there is a lot of fitness that can still be done at home. Then we, as I mentioned to you, our engagement activities around their software issues. Can we rekindle their interest in some issues? And then the other big thing that we are doing is, can we take this time to look at self-improvement and self-development? Our journey that we took last year to get into e-learning, I'm very happy to share that Tata Power is one of the, our numbers of our adoption of e-learning is best in class globally. We recently been awarded the Program of the Year by Skillsoft, our e-learning partner, in recognition of the way that Tata Power has taken this e-learning, and the employees are taking these opportunities to look at a lot of self-learning initiatives that we are providing them.
As a leader, do you measure performances during the crisis? If yes, what are the key parameters that are considered while measuring performances?
Now, in a crisis like this, our planning horizons do get shorter. So, while we are planning for certain things, sometimes it is not very clear that how will our next year horizons, or sometimes the next 6 months horizon are going to look at. So, what we do fundamentally is breaking our performance horizons to much shorter periods of time. But one thing that we have to do in this crisis is we should first and fundamental principle is the safety and health of our employees. That comes primary to anything else, and that principle we will have to take. That's number one. Now, having taken care of the health and safety of our employees, we will then go on saying that, look, how can we create and divide our activities into what is essential and what is not essential, and what can be deferred in case we need to defer it. And those calibrations are done at a real-time basis. A lot of the things that are given out is also empowering our individual units to take those decisions, saying that, look, this is going to be there. Can I take a short-term 2 months review and performance? Can I take a 6 months and then I take a 1 year? So dividing this helps you to plan it accordingly. But today I'm very happy to share that, look, we are as a company progressing quite well, and we have responded very well to this crisis. Our plants have operated very well. We have adhered to a lot of our promise that we give to the regulator, and also our networks have been managed very well. So it goes to show that when we give out clear messaging and also empower our employees, we get the right results.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.